Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurumedeva Sarvakarashu Sarvada. Om Ganganapate Namaha. Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha. Guru Deva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Sarva Mangala Mangale Shive Sarvartha Sadike Sharanitrambake Devi Narayani Namostute. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Mahalakshmi Rupena Samstita. Namastasya 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 Namo Namaha. Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Shri Hanumanji Maharaj Ki Jai. Welcome to Nitya Satsang. Today is the 27th of July 2025. I want to offer my prostrations to all the great sages and to Paramatma, Bhagavan residing in the heart of every single being. By the grace of Bhagavan Krishna and Shri Radhika Ji and all of the great sages, we have opportunity every day to meditate on, contemplate on extraordinary ideas in the path of bhakti, in the path of devotion. How beautiful is that? That is what life can be. Life is filled with the possibility of extraordinary love. When love opens up into the 10th bhakti, the Prem-Lakshana bhakti, the Prema bhakti, Divya bhakti isko kehte hai. Kya hota hai isme? What happens in this? We are able to enter into Maha Ananda, Divya Ananda. जीवन का जो आनंद है वो आ सकता है. That comes into our life by krupa, by grace. Now again, there are multiple ways and perspectives to try to understand this intellectually, which is good, is necessary, and at the same time we want to move from the intellectual and conceptual into the actual, into the anubhav level. Aparuksha Anubhuti, as Adi Jagat Guru Shankaracharya Ji has taught us. So I want to continue a bit further. This will be a little bit further technical here, not too technical, about the weaving, the processual weaving of the three rays in Vraj Leela. Now what is Vraj Leela? Ye Bhagavan Krishna ki Leela hai in the Golok. And what does that even mean, first of all? Now, this is transcendental phenomena. Leela, first of all, the word Leela is different from the word karma. So the Leelas are performed here in this world, but they are also performed in the divine abode. Bhagavat Dham mein bhi Leela chalti hai, Nitya Leela. Right? So the weaving together of three rays, those rays are Sandhini, Sambit and Haladini. So let's look at this. I'll read this through and then we'll try to examine this a bit carefully here. Within the pastoral cosmos of Vraja, Krishna's intimate playground, the three core currents do not act sequentially but reciprocally. That Sandhini, Sambit and Haladini, they are reciprocal. They are interconnected together. So Sandhini establishes an ontic platform by crystallizing eternal forms. Nitya Vraj Bhumi, ever-perfected land of Vraja. The cowherd cottages and jeweled pathways, and there's so much over there. So that is a Shakti of Paramatma, of Bhagavan Krishna and Radhika Ji, that crystallizes ontologically the abode, the Golok Dham itself. That is called Nitya Vraj Bhumi. Nitya meaning eternally existing. Now, I'm going to talk about this a little bit here, because we need to back it up. This is very advanced. Let's back it up for a moment. Right now, we have our physical body here. Right? We all have a physical body here. This body is made out of the 8 aspects of Ashtada Prakriti. Prithvi, Jal, Vayu, Tej, Akash, Ahankar, etc. There's 8 of them like this. So this body is made out of that. Who is the consciousness? What is the consciousness? Atma Tattva. The Atma Tattva is Sat Chit Ananda. That is our essential nature. That is who we are. The realization of the Atma Tattva happens through Dharma, Gnan, Vairagya, Bhakti. As Bhakti increases, supported by Gnan, Vairagya and Dharma, this is called Ekantika Dharma. So, as devotion increases psychologically, emotionally, from our angel wing program, we talk about the TEMDE, Those are all foundational ideas to what we're talking about here. Our thoughts, our emotions, memories, desires, our energies. These are all transmuted into bhakti. All 5 of them. The 5, 6, 5. We talked about that yesterday in the retreat. So everything gets transmuted into bhakti. If we are wanting that. If we don't want that, then it'll get possibly to transmute into something else at the worldly level. Somebody wants to become a great artist or a scientist or this or that. That's fine. Do that also. Koi baat nahi, right? Absolutely okay. So the point is that when our antakarana, our life in general, is brimming with bhakti, that will open the doorway into the Atman. Let's be clear on this point. Before we can get to even what we just read right now about the Samvit and Haladini and all these other transcendental phenomena, we are going to break out of, by Krupa of Radhika Ji, the Mahashakti Devi. By her grace, the Bhakta is taken out of the bondages of waking, dream and deep sleep states. ये बहुत difficult बात है. Nobody can break out of this on their own. Those 3 states, Jagrat Avastha, waking state, Swapna Avastha, dream state, and deep sleep state, Sushupti Avastha, they are the realm within which the Jivatma constantly is revolving in experience. Anubhav isko hota hai. And it cannot come out of that by its own effort. It doesn't know what is beyond that. It doesn't even know itself. It knows only the experiences of the Jagrat Swapna Sushupti Avastha. And it goes lifetime to lifetime with different bodies in these 3 states. ये महामाया का बंधन है. Mahamaya it's in the Jivatmas are living in the womb of Mahamaya. So, one of the purposes of this creation is to take the Jivatma out of Mahamaya into Goloka, Golok Vrindavan, into जिसको अक्षरधाम भी कह सकते हैं in another way. I don't want to go into those differences here. अक्षरधाम भी कह सकते, गोलोक धाम भी कह सकते, गोलोक वृंदावन कह सकते, वैकुंठ धाम कह सकते. अलौकिक भूमि है सब कुछ. So, and when the Jivatma goes into Kailasa, into Goloka, into Vaikuntha, it is no longer within this cycle of birth and death. In Vachanamrut में भी बात लिखी है महाराज ने, that when the Mukta reaches Golok, Bhakta reaches Golok, he says in Gujarati, ત્યાંથી પાછા આવવાની રીત નથી. There's no coming back from there unless Bhagwan himself comes here or sends the Mukta for some reason. That's the only way that those liberated beings manifest here. Otherwise, they don't manifest here at all. They will just remain over there forever. And if it is the will of Bhagwan Krishna, then they can come here. But they are always actually still there, but they appear here. That's another subject altogether about how those liberated beings, they are always in the abode of God, but they appear here. So that's another subject. Maybe we'll cover that some other time. The point is, for where we are, as bhakti increases, the Atma Tattva begins to reveal itself out of the Jagrat Swapna Sushupti. It is the Sakshi, the witnessing consciousness of the 3 states that we actually go through. We're going through these every day. And human beings are going through them again and again and again. And then when the physical body ends, the rebirth happens and it starts all over again. And it just goes on like this. And it will continue to go on without any end. Until and unless there is the preponderance of bhakti, the opening of Mahabhakti, great bhav from inside. And by Krupa of Paramatma, the Jivatma is taken out of the Jagrat Swapna Sushupti and is given a divine body. And that is where we'll begin here. This entire point about the divine body is what is given. That divine body is given to the Atma. The Atma doesn't have any body. The Atma is experiencing different bodies. The Atma is Nirakar, it's formless. But these crystallized eternal forms through the Sandhini Shakti brings about, if I understand this correctly, it brings about the body even of the muktas, the liberated beings. So the Atma gets a body. What kind of body is that? It is a body that looks like Bhagwan Krishna. This is written in Vedas. So the liberated beings of Golok, they look like Sri Krishna. There's also male and female there. But it's not like male and female here. It's not that kind. It is a different kind of body. We cannot imagine that. We have to only experience that. And there are female bodies also, but they look just like all of the muktas of Radhika ji, like this. So there is male-female bhav, but it's not like this. It's something divine. It is extraordinarily divine. So those bodies are obtained by the grace of God. They are called Bhagavati Tanu. And they are luminous bodies. So this body, this physical body is made out of the Prakriti. Prithvi, Jal, Vayu, Tej, Akash. It will go away. But even while it is here, as 9 forms of devotion continue, as bhakti continues, as connection with Bhagwan continues, the formation of the divine body is happening right now. That divine body, the Bhagavati Tanu, it is called. Bhagavati Sharir. Or Brahmamay Sharir, sometimes it is called that also. That is being developed right now. So when the time comes, this body will go. And that new body it is through the new body that the Jivatma can see the Leela of Paramatma. One can never see the Leela of Paramatma in the Nitya Vraj Bhumi until and unless that liberated body is given. That body that is called Nitya, it is the body of the Muktas. And with that body, that divine Leela can be seen. Otherwise, without that body, and if there is only the Brahman realization, partial realization, then the Jivatma and the Brahman are one, it ends right there. Then that is called Brahma Shushupti in Vachanamrut, Garada Pratham 64. It means that the drop goes into the ocean. You cannot see Paramatma then. And that light is only one aspect of Paramatma. It's like a consciousness. It's consciousness, not like a consciousness. It is consciousness. But you cannot see the Leela of Paramatma or the abode of God or the form of Paramatma. Because that is a divine light coming from the abode of God. So in Advaita Vedanta, it stops right there. That the Jivatma and the Brahman are one, it ends right there. You cannot see Paramatma in Advaita Vedanta. The people in Advaita Vedanta will say, no, that divine consciousness is everything. It can manifest as these abodes and this and that. You can look at it that way also. Why not? If you want to, you can look at it that way. Because ultimate reality is only one. It can manifest in any which way. But the point is, when we are doing sadhana here, when we are connecting with Paramatma here in this world, the question is, what is the mukta state we want to be in? Do we want to be in Golok with Bhagwan Krishna, with the Nitya Leelas and all those things? And then that kind of sadhana has to be done here. That nishtha, that sadhana, that upasana is done here. But there are those people who say that is all just a dream-like illusion. That doesn't mean anything. If you don't want that, what do you want? You want to be merged inside Brahman. I am Aham Brahmasmi. तो वो चाहिए तो वो भी मिलेगा, the absolute. Then there is no you at that point to experience anything. Ramakrishna Paraman said it, right? The difference between becoming sugar and wanting to enjoy sugar. The Jivatma and Akshara Brahman, the Nirakara Brahman are the same substance. It's the same tattva. तो इसमें से परब्रह्म का दर्शन हो ही नहीं सकता if you are inside Brahman. Then there's no you to have any. It's a non-dual consciousness. Finish. It ends right there. And it's nitya. It is eternal. Brahman is eternal. बट जो धाम है, भगवत धाम है, वो उससे पर है. इट्स क्वाइट अ बिट बियॉन्ड द ब्रह्मन रियलाइजेशन. This is what the acharyas have stated. If you disagree with that, you can argue with them. It's not a question of argument, it's a question of realization. ये सब धाम सब illusion है, सब काल्पनिक बात है. नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है. They are real. They're not an illusion. Just like we say, this Prithvi is here, this Earth is here, Venus is there, Jupiter is there, the Sun is there, the galaxies are there. Are they an illusion? They're not an illusion. They are real. They have relative reality. They're not an illusion. But there is something much greater. The substratum within which all material reality exists, that is Brahman. And that Brahman is only one aspect of the light, of the consciousness of Goloka. So Golok Vrindavan in Vaishnav Sampradaya is considered to be the highest state. वहाँ भगवान कृष्ण का साकार विथ फॉर्म स्वरूप है. इट्स नॉट जस्ट दैट लाइट. वो लाइट तो उनके शरीर का प्रकाश है और धाम का प्रकाश है. एंड अगेन दिस वर्ड प्रकाश इट्स नॉट लाइक दिस सनलाइट. वो एक दिव्य प्रकाश है. दैट्स अनदर सब्जेक्ट ऑल टुगेदर. न तद् भास्यते सूर्यो न शशांको न पावकः यत् गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद् धाम परमं मम. भगवान का धाम, भगवान के धाम में जो प्रकाश आता है, इज कमिंग फ्रॉम देयर. इट्स सोर्स इज ओनली वन. It's not that one is right and one is wrong, that Shankaracharya ji is wrong or Ramanuj is right, or this. It's not anything like that. They are all correct. They are all correct in terms of their own realization, what they have realized. You see, I'll give you an example. If a bhakta reaches that stage where the Atman is realized, that Atman is so extraordinary, Sat Chit Ananda, you will not want anything else. Because it is Ananda, and it will feel, the state is such, Soham, Chidananda Rupam, Shivoham, Shivoham, सब अद्वैत में जो सब स्तोत्र आते हैं, तो इसमें ऐसी स्थिति है, everything is obtained, everything is there, everything is just me. I am, Soham, Soham, Soham. There's not any ego in that also. That is the realization of the Atma Tattva. But the Bhakti Sampradaya Acharyas have stated there's much, much, much beyond that. And if we are just in the Atmic realization without any upasana left for Paramatma, then one's mukti is finished right there. One cannot progress beyond that point anymore. You see, so this is one of those points here that one needs to be very clear about what is the realization we want. Do we just want to realize the Atman, as many of the Advaitic gurus have said? If that's the case, then that's the case. The bhakti is a support for that. It's a purifier, and the Atman is realized, and Atman and Brahman are one. The 6 Mahavakyas of the Upanishad are there, and the mukti is done. It's done. It is called Jiva Brahma Ekta. Aham Brahmasmi, Soham, Tattvamasi, Ahim Atma Brahma, Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma, Pragnananam Brahma. These 6 Mahavakyas come into the picture, and you are the one supreme consciousness. And that is the goal in Advaita Vedanta, to realize that is you. Yes, why not? And Sachin is not criticizing that, by the way. Some people might feel, why am I saying, I'm just trying to present these things objectively, because this is, and I cannot believe that any of these sages would be just making things up. No, it's not possible like that. Unki bahut badi sthiti thi. Like, for example, in the ISKCON movement, Prabhupada ji, Swami Prabhupada ji, we are aware, उनके जो गुरुदेव थे, भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती, उन्होंने ब्रह्म संहिता लिखी है. And he had taken the name Hare Krishna mantra 1 billion times. वो 100% नैष्टिक ब्रह्मचारी थे, जबरदस्त संत थे वो, और उनको सब ये धामों का दर्शन हुआ था, साक्षात्कार हुआ था. And from there he has written Brahma Samhita, the commentary in Brahma Samhita. Again, I don't want to go into that right now, another 10-15 hour subject. My point is that these things are not contradictory. जितना अनुभव है जिस संत का, जैसे it is based on experience. Whatever Ramakrishna Paramahansa talked about in Ramakrishna Kathamrut, वो उनका अनुभव था. You cannot say that is some imaginary thing. No. What Vivekanand Swami wrote in the 13 volumes is, or spoke and wrote and all that together, compilation, that uska unka anubhav hai. सजानंद स्वामी महाराज, स्वामीनारायण भगवान, उनके जो वचनामृत है, सत्संगी जीवन एक्सेट्रा सब शास्त्र है, वो उनका अनुभव में से सब लिखा है. ज्ञानेश्वर महाराज की भी ऐसी बात है, गुरु ग्रंथ साहब की भी ऐसी बात है, जीसस की भी ऐसी बात है, यू नो, ऑल महापुरुष, बुद्ध की भी ऐसी बात है. Anyone who is evolved, they have written their anubhav and the path to recreate that anubhav. And those experiences vary, those states vary, those types of liberation vary. That's why this is a very difficult subject to discuss even, because first of all, it is a highly evolved subject, highly evolved state, and at the same time, it can cause a lot of confusion unless we approach it with patience. We have to approach with patience, with a lot of careful study. And from that, step by step, things become clear in time. They cannot become clear just like that. These are very advanced subjects. But we're putting it there. And Sachin is trying to find a way to try to present it in the most straightforward manner. You know, in simple language, to try to express things that are quite extraordinary. Right? So for today, what is our sadhana for today? What is our sadhana for today? It's very simple. It's just to recognize that we can be absolutely 100% filled with ananda. In every moment, we can be. We can start with that. We can start, I am Ananda. Anandoham. ये मंत्र है. मैं आपको 2 मंत्र देता हूँ. ये मंत्र उपनिषद का, Sachin is not giving, but it's just being transmitted to you. Anandoham. ये मंत्र है. You can chant this mantra. Take a mala. Start with Namah Shivaya if you want, or Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama, whatever. And then Anandoham, that resonate. मैं कौन हूँ? मैं आनंद हूँ. Not the limited confusions, not the antakarana with all of its problems. That's not me. Anandoham, Shivoham, Anandoham. Either mantra is fine. Anandoham. And the second mantra is, for in terms of Vaishnav Sampradaya, we can say Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama. इसको भी बहुत, ये मंत्र is given by Vallabhacharya ji. सब कर सकते, करो ये मंत्र, बहुत सुंदर मंत्र है. शरणागति लेनी. Bring these 2 points together. This is from the point of view of mantra. Sachin is speaking a lot about this thing. Fine, we need to, that's intellectual to understand. ठीक है, एक श्रवण भक्ति है, ठीक है. मेरे लिए, आपके लिए. Fine. But now we also want to, इसका अनुभव करना है. आज अनुभव करना है. So आनंदोहम. एक माला ऐसी करनी, आनंदोहम. एक माला श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम. इसका YouTube में भी बहुत वीडियोस है. 108 times is good enough. Do it 1 time every day. And then you can increase if you want. After doing 1 mala of Anandoham, resonate with it. That's me. I don't have anything except Ananda. मैं आनंद हूँ. May, watch the word may. That's not ego. So that's why you'd be careful. So rather than saying मैं आनंद हूँ, just simply say आनंदोहम. The hum, the ahankar is no longer present. It has been transmuted into ananda. It is resonating with ananda. What is me, the consciousness? Ananda only. And so that is 50%. The other 50% is Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama. That I am at the feet. I've taken the shelter of Bhagavan Sri Krishna Paramatma. 100% ashraya, shelter. Sharanam. Sharanam. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Rama Sharanam Mama. भगवान की शरणागति लेनी बहुत बड़ी बात है. It's not small thing, you know. It is to sit in front of Radha and Krishna. Make a small diya. सब गुरुओं को नमस्कार करना. और शरणागति कैसी ले सकते हैं? Take some flowers, take some leaves, don't need anything else. Take some fruits. Patram, pushpam, phalam, 3 things. And place them in the hand and place them at the feet of Sri Radhika ji. Place them at the feet of Sri Krishna, that I am yours. I am at your feet. I am your child only. आपकी शरणागति. और भगवान शरणागत वत्सल इनका एक नाम है. Sharanagat Vatsal means one who comes to the Lord, says, however I am, whatever it is, I am yours, मैं तेरा हूँ. When we approach Paramatma with this extraordinary bhav, and any form of God, God is only one. You can say Shiva, you can say Krishna, you can say Durga Devi, you can say Lakshmi Devi. आपकी जैसी इच्छा, जो इष्ट है, कोई बात नहीं. शरणागति लेनी बहुत बड़ी बात है. It's a beautiful. Sit in front of the मूर्ति, भगवान की मूर्ति. मंदिर में जाके भी कर सकते, घर में तो मंदिर होना ही चाहिए. सब जगह मंदिर ही है एक्चुअली. और विग्रह, सुंदर विग्रह होना चाहिए. भगवान कृष्ण, राधिका जी. That is for relationship. Why the murtis are so beautiful? Because of the beauty that is inside of us. Anandoham, saundarya. The sundarta. Bhagwan is the most beautiful. All of the beauty that is present in the world, its source is Sri Krishna Paramatma only. और कोई source नहीं है इसका. He is Shama Sundar. और उनमें जो सौंदर्य है वो it is beyond anybody's imagination. तो सौंदर्य, आनंद, दिव्य विग्रह भगवान का जो है, इसमें हमारी दृष्टि इन गुजराती विषय भगवानના સ્વરૂપમાં દ્રષ્ટિ પહોંચવી જોઈએ. Drishti, meaning our vision enters. That is why we study the Gita. These subjects we're talking about, these are PhD level subjects in Bhakti. बहुत advanced by their Sachin, somehow by the grace of Radhika ji and Sri Krishna, by their blessings only, try to put this in some simple, straightforward way. These are extraordinarily supra advanced topics to even talk about, even in the Vaishnav Sampradaya. But even something so super advanced is accessible to all of us. It's okay. It doesn't have to be, you have to go through 1,000 scriptures. Sharanagati. And then by the grace of Radhika ji, everything will begin to open. We will go further and further and further. Wo maha anand hai. So when we take the shelter of God, Bhagwan ka sharan lena, isme ahankar ka koi stan hi nahi hai. Ahankar dissolves completely. Completely it dissolves at the feet of God. It is burned up. Just like when we make a diya, the oil that is there, ghee that is there, coconut oil, it is consumed and transformed into the flame. That the substance, the raw energy, the raw vritti that is inside of us is burned up and it is transformed into the light of bhakti. What more achievement, or I don't want to use the word achievement, that's the wrong word. What greater sthiti hai jivan mein? What greater realization can there be than the continuous unending jyot, bhakti ki jyot jagao, jyot se jyot jagao, sadguru mere antar timira mitao. इससे बड़ी क्या बात हो सकती है? There's nothing greater than this. And this is when we take the shelter. One might have knowledge of all scriptures, but who has not taken the shelter is only an intellectual scholar. But to take the shelter, like Shabri, the story of Shabri, she's taken the shelter of Bhagwan Ramchandra ji. She's continuously linked with Ramchandra ji. She may know some scriptures, she may not know any scriptures. It doesn't matter. She's linked with Param Shraddha, without any doubt. Shraddhavan labate jnanam tatparaha sayatendriya. The linkage inside is the key. When Sachin is speaking all these years, is only to activate Shraddha and Bhakti. It's not about intellectual fascination. Yeah, that's all right. That has a place, intellectual. But that's not the goal. The goal is Sharanam. Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama. See this word Mama. Now, there's one more point I want to mention. I've gone over time. I really apologize for that. But one more point I just want to mention. That Mama, Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama, that is Anandoham. That who I am, that Mama is no longer just the mind. At one level it is, but later on it's not like that. That Mama is the Atma Tattva, uska samarpan, it is given over at the feet of Radhika ji and Sri Krishna. The Atma Samarpan, isko kya kehte hain? Atma Samarpan. The Atman that is realized, the Brahman that is realized, the Atman that is realized, that itself is given over to Bhagwan. Isko kehte hain Brahma Swarupini Bhakti. स्वामी नारायण भगवान का जो सिद्धांत है, उन्होंने ये पॉइंट पर फोकस किया है. दिस काइंड ऑफ भक्ति. ब्रह्म रूप थईने पर ब्रह्मनी भक्ति करवी, अक्षर रूप थईने पुरुषोत्तमनी भक्ति करवी. इसका ये सिद्धांत है, उनका वो सिद्धांत है. एंड व्हाट इज द beauty of this Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama, and this is the only Sachin's interpretation on that mantra. Vallabhacharya ji and the Parampara may have some other viewpoints. We'll have to look it up and see. But that is a way to cross connect this together. That the Mama is not some ahankar. It is the total shelter, taking the 100% shelter with Param Shraddha. Kaisi Shraddha? Param Shraddha. And in that Shraddha, there is no doubt. There is not even the iota of doubt. In Gujarati, we say, ek tal jetli pan asakti biji nathi rati sansarma, tal jetlu pan agnan nathi. Tal means sesame seed. And tal jetlo pan ahankar nathi. Tal jetli pan kasar nathi. Vachanamrut ke shabd hai. Kasar means deficiency. That deficiency is obliterated in Sharanam, Akhand Sharanam. इसमें कोई अहंकार नहीं रहता, कोई वासना नहीं रहती, इसमें कोई प्रकार का राग द्वेष किसी के. पूर्ण भगवद गीता is in this one mantra, श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम. पूरा भगवद गीता है, पूरी भगवद गीता. Let's stop, otherwise it's already 8:44. You are so patient to hang in there. ओम वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकारस्य सर्वदं गंगणपते नमः. गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देव महेश्वर गुरुदेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. सर्वमंगलमांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थ साधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबके देवी नारायणि नमोस्तुते. ओम वामे यस्य स्थिता राधा श्रीश्च यस्यास्ति वक्षसि वृंदावन विहारं तं श्रीकृष्णं हृदि चिन्तये. ओम नमो नारायणाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमः शिवाय. ओम नमः शिवाय. ओम नमः शिवाय. श्री राधा कृष्णार्पणमस्तु. ओम ह्रीं स्वाहा.